the days when bedtime stories in the company of elders used to be the pride possession of the families. A very good morning, everyone. I'm contestant number 39, standing in front of you to express my views on the topic, the impact of social media in today's life. Social media has a lot of advantages. Still more than that, there are many harmful effects of using social media. However, man may be the boast of achievements and technology. But the reality is, we have not found as much as we have lost in the name of modernity. And social media is one of the crucial elements in the life of the human nowadays. Social media is a very fantastic platform to get ourselves connected to the whole world in just a click. If we want to spread any awareness or any message, then social media became a brahmastra for us. It was only social media that helped millions of the students during Corona pandemic, and still it is proving to be a boon for education system. But now the question that arises, are we taking it as a boon, or we are just spoiling our lives with bitter taste of it? Sometimes I think it is not social media, it is anti-social media that is making the people alienated from one another. Children, teenagers, adults are engaged in social media. The children do not like to sit with their elders. The children do not know what the grandparent needs, how their parents are struggling, but they know what is the favorite dish of Salman Khan, which is the favorite sari of Deepika Padukone. I think it is not the fault of social media. It is the people who are taking the negative side of this platform and using it for self-destruction. According to a survey, 90% of the people between the age group 18 to 40 are engaged in social media, and 50% of them are addicted to it. Medical science says that spending 3 hours a day on social media increases eyesight problems, mental health issues like anxiety, depression, etc. The bitter truth of online violence and crime cannot be ignored, as all of you witnessed the cases of spams and frauds. Recently, I have also witnessed such a case of Rahul, who is living in my neighborhood. When video call came to him, he picked up the call. On the other hand, a spam girl started to converse with him. Later on, she changed the whole conversation into vulgarity and demanded a huge amount. In the phobia of getting exposed in wrong manner, he paid the whole amount by borrowing from someone else. Later on, he discussed this incident with my brother. Then I realized how disgusting activities people are doing. Well, this is not a single case. There are many. How much one can be aware of. Social media is a very fantastic platform, but the question is,
Dear friends, do you all know what FBI actually is? Here, let me help you all with it. In the current economic environment, there are no isolated economies anymore. All the countries are now functioning on an economic global level. And we have generated a strong global economy all over the world, where there are various barriers in the flow of goods and money. And this opens up the doors for the international investors too. FDI in a bit details. So, what does FDI mean? Foreign direct investment, it is a self-explanatory term. So, FDI is when
उन महिलाओं से जाकर, सबसे पहले पूछो उन महिलाओं से जाकर, रोई जो लड़की होने पर, हंसी जो पुत्र को पाकर। नारी होकर नारी को ही छोटा सोचा सबने, नारी ही क्यों लगी सबको चुभने, नारी को ही लगी क्यों चुभने। कि दूध मांगता पुत्र तुम्हारा हम क्या रक्त पीती, कि दूध मांगता पुत्र तुम्हारा हम क्या रक्त पीती, दोनों का आहार एक है हम भी यूं ही जीती। हम भी यूं ही जीती। कि पूछो उनसे, पूछो सबसे जिन्होंने शिक्षा में पूछो उनसे, पूछो सबसे जिन्होंने शिक्षा में
mobile phones more than their own personal time. Just like alcoholic beverages, you have to be responsible for the amount of time you spend with technology. See, I totally agree that every topic has its own advantages as well as disadvantages. So we have to be responsible to balance them off. So there are nearly 7 billion people living in this world, and in our day-to-day life, we don't even interact with 1%. Trust me, a far less than 1%. But you know what? I think with the help of social media, this has also become nearly possible. Things like traveling. Traveling is an impeccable activity for rejuvenating our souls, for freshening our minds. But still, unfortunately, we can't always be traveling. But with the help of social media, it has also become possible today in modern life.
What is women empowerment? Is it giving women more power than that of men? No. Women empowerment is the liberation of women from gender bias and the grooming a self-reliant, educated, free-willed and disciplined girls. Women empowerment is the submission of education, healthcare and opportunity to work. Then there are millions of people who, despite having all these facilities, they don't have access to employment. They are not allowed to work outside their home. The male-dominated, patriarchal nature of human society does not allow women to work outside. In India, women are discriminated against even when they are born. Several thousand hundred girls are killed in the womb of their mother, and the opportunity funnel keeps on getting narrower and narrower for women. 45% of girls fail to enroll to school.
Pencil and paper have transformed into stylus and screen. Our world is industrializing like we have never seen. Are we really producing more than our consume? We understand this technology can lead our doom. Do we realize how much harm we are doing? Even though a better world is which we are pursuing. We have iPhones, iPads, but no eye contact. Convenient or sure, we just sit here and get fat. A very great morning to all the dignitaries present here. I am Diva from class 10th, having token number 50, here in front of you to express my views about a very relevant and debatable topic of 21st century. Industrialization. A boon or a curse? Industries have transformed the living of each and every person. They have changed the living standards. Today, in the world of modernity and hurries where each and every person needs quick outcomes with easy working, industrialization has become an essential input. Industries contribute to the economy.
International scholar hailing from the esteemed bastion of learning have assumed the privilege to articulate my standpoint on the topic role of a responsible citizen in a democracy. Now we may not be the president of any country or minister of any state, but each of us holds the most important title in the Indian democracy. Now you must be thinking that I'm not a president or a mayor or a governor or a senator. Well, you don't have to be. Because in our democracy, the most important title is that of a citizen. Former Illinois Governor, two-time presidential candidate, United Nations Ambassador Adlai Stevenson said it best, as citizens, you are the rulers and the ruled, the lawgivers and the law-abiders, the beginning and the end. But it's not enough to hold the title. Remember the first three words of our Indian Constitution? We, the people. We are fortunate enough to live in a country that is led by, for and of the people. But to make that work, we have to build and flex our citizenship muscles in order to make the government respond. And therein lies the challenge. Most Indians don't think that we can make the government respond. As back in 2015, the Pew Research Center did a study on Indians' attitude towards the government. It was found that 74%, 3/4 of Indians no longer believe that elected officials care what we think. Well, Those feelings of frustration and alienation are perfectly understandable when you consider what's going on in the nation's capital and all the 28 state capitals. But it's also understandable when you think about that we realize that we haven't been trained in the skills needed to make the elected officials care what we think. Imagine you were teaching someone the game of basketball, for example. Would you teach them by taking them into the locker room and have them watch some videos of basketball or have them read about the history of basketball, or would you take them out in the court and let them practice passing, jump shot, dribbling on their own? Well, right now in our democracy, this locker room style is the way we are teaching responsibility of a citizen. And it is wrong, because we do not have to be in the stance of democracy watching it happen, but we have to be in the court of democracy making it happen. Now let me provide you with some myths and truths about effective citizenship. So the first myth, not surprising when one in this hyper-polarized and partisan world, is that people can no longer work together to achieve common goals. And the truth is that people can work together across ideological and partisan lines to make a difference. As you can take example from the big billionaire business companies which have established from two completely different ideologies and have succeeded. Now a second myth is that one person can't make a difference. You have heard people saying, what can I do, or I am alone. But if you didn't know, you can remove any person from the course of history who has been a freedom fighter, and you can see for yourself what difference it makes in the long run of freedom struggle. Now at last, I would like to make a truth on citizen responsibility and engagement is that when our moment comes for effective citizenship, we have to reach out and seize it and make the government respond, as we have done in the approaching years of 1957. Now we know that what we are capable of when we seize the moment, and when we leave from here today, we have two choices. Either be one of the 74% of Indians who no longer believe that elected officials care what we think and do nothing, or we can be one of the citizens who broke those myths and prove ourselves in our duty towards the democracy. In conclusion, the responsibility of a citizen is multifaceted and extends beyond the confines of the law. In a nutshell, a citizen must be honest, trustworthy, dutiful, vigilant. Then only a democratic nation can be flourished. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I was told that girls don't raise their voice. Right? Isn't it? Do you see any women here? Men, right? Right. So, when we are talking about women empowerment, everyone is right. But do any one of them has teach you why we are talking about women empowerment? A very good morning, respected judges, who are the opponents and everyone present here. I, Sakshi, with talker number 80, is hereby humbly express my thanks for giving me a chance to express my views on women empowerment. Everyone here, mostly girls, about women empowerment, have told you that Indian culture gives women the utmost respect. Many of our gods are also female. So when we are giving great respect to women, then why we are talking about women empowerment? Have you ever wondered why there is a need to do this? I've generally observed that people coming out of theatres appreciating the cast, the acting skills of the movie. But I've never seen, or have you ever seen anyone appreciating the music director, makeup artist, or anyone that has worked more than the cast behind the camera? This is what women feel on daily basis. They are not appreciated enough in our society, even after managing the daily chores or taking care of the kids or the house. If we talk
किश्ती में क्यों दिखता नहीं चेत जो बन गया है इस किश्ती में, यूं मौन बने कब तक रहोगे तुम उनकी हक परस्ती में, यूं मौन बने कब तक रहोगे तुम उनके हक परस्ती में। सम्मानित मंच, आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, निष्पक्ष निर्णायक मंडली एवं मेरे साथी बहनों और भाइयों, आज आज मैं आप सभी को निजीकरण, वरदान और अभिशाप पर अपने विचार व्यक्त करना चाहती हूँ। आशा करती हूँ कि आप उन्हें ध्यान से सुनेंगे और मेरा उत्साहवर्धन करेंगे। आज हम अपनी चारों निजीकरण की चर्चा सुन रहे हैं, क्योंकि सरकार द्वारा नियंत्रित अधिकतर कंपनियां निजीकरण की राह पर है। निजीकरण एक ऐसा विषय है जिसके बारे में लोगों के अनेक तर्क हैं। कुछ इसे सही बता रहे हैं, कुछ इसे गलत बता रहे हैं। निजीकरण एक ऐसी प्रक्रिया है जिसमें किसी सरकारी क्षेत्र को निजी क्षेत्र को या तो पूरी तरीके से या आंशिक तरीके से सौंप दिया जाता है। निजीकरण के अंदर जो दो तरीके से निजीकरण होता है, पहला है विनिवेश और दूसरा है
है आंधी तो आकाश बदल देती है। गरजती है नारी जब शक्ति से, तो गरजती है नारी जब शक्ति से, तो घर परिवार समाज तो क्या इतिहास बदल देती है। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, विवेकी निर्णायक मंडल और प्रिय श्रोताओं, सुप्रभात। भारत देश एक संपन्न परंपरा और सांस्कृतिक मूल्यों का समृद्ध देश है। सदियों से इसकी समृद्धि को बनाए रखने के लिए नारी की महती भूमिका को नकारा नहीं जा सकता। महोदय, महिलाएं तो सदा से ही ऊर्जावान, दूरदर्शी और प्रतिबद्धता के साथ चुनौतियों का सामना करने में सक्षम रही है। नारी ने तो वैदिक काल से ही अपनी क्षमता और ज्ञान का लोहा मनवाया है। मैत्री, गार्गी, अपाला घोषा जैसी विदुषी नारियों के कार्यों को भुलाया नहीं जा सकता महोदय, जिन्होंने उस समय की महिलाओं को ज्ञान विज्ञान का पाठ पढ़ाया हो। उपनयन संस्कार हो या ज्ञान विज्ञान की चर्चा, पंडितों सा ज्ञान हो या ऋषियों की तपस्या, महिलाओं ने हर क्षेत्र में अपनी विद्वता को सिद्ध किया।
सोशल मीडिया की आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, निशील विवेकी निर्णायक मंडल, सभा में उपस्थित सभ्य समाज व मेरे हम उम्र साथियों, क्या आप जानते हैं सोशल मीडिया ने किस तरह हमें प्रभावित किया है? तो मैं आपको बता दूं, मेरी ये पंक्तियां इशारा कर रही है वर्तमान समय में सोशल मीडिया के बढ़ते प्रभाव की ओर। सोशल मीडिया एक ऐसी क्रांति बनकर उभरा है जिसने विश्व भर के लोगों की जीवन शैली को बदल कर रख दिया है। इतना आसान कर दिया है हमारा जीवन कि यदि हमारे पूर्वज आज आकर देखें तो वह विश्वास नहीं कर पाएंगे। हमारी कल्पनाओं को साकार कर दिखाया है सोशल मीडिया ने। विश्व भर के लोगों को रोजगार प्रदान किया है सोशल मीडिया ने। महोदय, अब प्रश्न ये उठता है कि क्या है ये सोशल मीडिया, क्यों इसने हमें न प्रभावित कर दिया है? तो आपकी जानकारी के लिए आपसी संबंधों का अंतर्जाल है सोशल मीडिया। इसके बढ़ते विकास और प्रभाव ने तो जैसे पूरे विश्व में क्रांति ही ला दी हो। आज ऐसा